Okay guys, thanks for coming back to my channel. So I am multitasking today. I am actually doing my makeup and doing Conspiracy Monday because I don't have time to do both. So what you guys get, I'm sorry if y'all don't like watching people put on makeup, just turn up the screen onto something else and just listen to the voice. Okay, so today I'm going to be talking about the occult and Disney. Okay, all the Disney cartoons, all the Disney movies are now like they've always had occult hidden symbolism in it, but now it's more rampant than ever. Like seriously, it's like everywhere. So the thing is, why? Like people are asking, why do they put this out in kid stuff? And is there rhyme or reason to putting occult knowledge and occult symbolism in kids cartoons? Well, yes, because it's a program. It's sort of like a spell, and it's sort of like you know, training the mind while it's young so that you'll be naturally attracted to it when you get older. Like, oh my god, I saw that same symbol in Disney movie when I was young, you know, let me move towards that because I recognize it. Okay, so when you recognize something, you know, like that, you're more interested in it when you get older. And it also, like, symbols also kind of change your vibration, you know. And a lot of times these movies with like witches and magic and fairies will spark an interest in the occult or in metaphysical things and in magical themes. So your kid is going to automatically be attracted to fairies, fairy dust, magic spells, magic wands. And so that was in the early years, you know. And in the early years, if you go to, you know, when you went to Walt Disney World, and it still says it now, you know, the most magical place on earth. So their theme is magic. Their theme is imagination and magic. And, you know, when you wish upon a star, it doesn't matter who you are. Anything, you know, anything can come true if you believe. So that's teaching, you know, law of attraction right there. Sorry, y'all, I know I look crazy. But what you need is to be able to cultivate that into something more meaningful. So that's why they put the storylines behind it, that magic can save you or magic can hurt you in a lot of ways. We all know that when you're that successful and you're that grand, you have like help from, you know, the occult knowledge, alchemy, you know, sorry, awareness, and it's not just going to come from nothing. Okay, you have to manifest that. You have to think a certain way. You have to be able to understand how universal laws work. So basically, you are, when you watch Disney, you are watching a magician's film, a magician's movie. And a lot of people are upset about this, especially in the religious community. They're mad because their children are now becoming interested in magic and, you know, stuff like that. Like, there's nothing about God or anything in these Disney movies or religion because, you know, they don't really want to offend too many people, and or they don't want to push religion, so they push the magic instead, which I think it's great because I practice magic, and I think it's a good lesson for kids whose parents practice magic to see the good and the bad that magic can do, and how to use it for good, how to use it, you know, how people can use it against you, blah 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 blah. And also it makes their imagination, you know, expand, because now they see more possibilities and less limits in life. And there's also conspiracy, and I've seen a lot of it, where some of the artists that draw in the Disney films and cartoons, they stick like a little perversion in there on purpose. A lot of times people say it's because they're bored and they don't think people will notice. and they want it to stick out, like, oh, you know, because they were just bored. And I think, you know, sometimes you have some crazy people that are just gonna do crazy things, and, you know, perhaps it is part of the spell or the magic and stuff like that to see overly sexualized things, to kind of like, the kids aren't going to know what it is until they grow up and then see it, and then they'll learn that there are things hidden in plain sight, which also helps them to become more aware. I'm not saying it's appropriate, but it does serve a purpose, you know. So Disney, I think they're great. I love Disney. I wouldn't stop my kids from watching anything Disney related. I think it expands their mind. They get taught a lot of things that are relevant in magic and in universal law and just life lessons in general. So I think Disney, I like Disney, but I can understand why some religious people would not like Disney. And I know a lot of people who are conscious, but they're not seeing the bigger picture, and they won't let their kids watch any of those type of movies. They won't let them watch anything on TV. They'll, like, oh, have to okay everything. And I understand, but that's not the world that the children are growing up in now. They're gonna have to understand what's going on and how to decipher it. And if you watch it with them, you can kind of also tell them, look, this means this means that. And they're not just sitting there guessing what it means, you know. So it's important to understand that, yes, there are some things in Disney that are perverted, and, you know, adults will catch it. There are some things that are like occult magic, and yes, Walt Disney was a magician, okay? And that's just something that you're gonna have to accept and realize. You know, the most successful companies in this world use the occult, okay? And they've always used it. That's why they're very successful, okay? Because they go by universal law and not religion, because religion is limited, very limited, and you can't achieve great success on limited thinking unless you are controlling a mass number of limited thinking people. Like, for example, the mega churches. The only reason that the pastors are rich is because all the limited thinking people gather and give them money to continue to teach them to think limited, okay? In a world full of possibilities, you choose to be limited. That's your own choice. But as time goes forward, you're going to start seeing a lot more metaphysical, a lot more occult, a lot more magic. My friend Lisa sent me a video and a blog the other day on the opening of this, like, tunnel in Europe that connects a lot of the countries underground. And the opening ceremony, or the ceremony to introduce opening of the bridge, which took 17 years to build, was like this huge occult ceremony. And they had, like, the goat, and they had a horned god, and they were, like, worshiping it and all that kind of stuff. And people were just appalled. They were like, oh my God, why? What the heck is this? You know? And that's just the direction that things are going. You know, the world is not going to be really ruled by religion anymore. If you realize, most of the super religious countries are all at war, okay? Most of the super religious people are all at war. And the spiritual people, you know, they fight war in a different way, okay? Spiritual people, magicians, witches, they fight war, you know, with their intention and their magic. A lot of people will ask me, oh, can you do magic to save the world, to do good, to do this? Yeah, you can. You know, magic is not always for selfish reasons. In fact, if you consider yourself a light worker, or, you know, practicing white magic, it should not be selfish at all. It should only be to benefit the greater good, you know? So yes, you can practice magic to help the world, but that doesn't mean that someone's not also practicing counter magic for selfish reasons. That's not going to help the world. So basically what you're going to get is a balance, which is what you want. You can't have all good and you can't have all bad, because the world does not function like that. So those there's lots of all the movies show different occult symbols. That's why I always say get that book on symbolism, so you know exactly what you're watching, why the symbols are there, what is the meaning of it, why is it in this type of movie, and then you can explain to your children, oh, I know what that means. It means, you know, blah 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 blah. And so you're not lost, and they know what they're looking at and why it's there. And when they grow up, they're going to have a deeper meaning of things, okay? They're not going to be lost. And so I think it's good that Disney does that and prompts thought into the unknown, into the occult. Because a lot of, like whenever I see a movie without any occult or hidden messages in it, I get upset. Now, why? Because it's a waste of time to me. If something is not multi-dimensional or multi-purpose or teaching me anything on a spiritual level, it's a waste of my time. It's like, oh, what a dumb movie. An amateur must have wrote this, you know. There's no rhyme or reason to this, to me. You know, it was a good film. It had a good story plot. This is why a lot of people don't make it in Hollywood when they write screenplays, because they don't have any alchemy in it. They don't have any hidden occult meaning in it. And so their script gets passed by. Yeah, it's a great story. And if it's that great of a story, they will change it. They will say, well, we need to do a rewrite and include this, this, and that. And people aren't going to understand why. It's to add the occult aspect to it. Okay? So basically, if you are a screenwriter, if you're trying to write or get into the big time in Hollywood, even music, you have to have that occult backing, or else it's not going to be accepted unless they rewrite it or suggest you do certain things. Now for me, I knew a screenplay writer and they had a good storyline, but they didn't have any occult backing in it. So they hired me to give them some suggestions on how to make it occult like and put hidden meaning in there so it could be easily picked up by, you know, whoever wants to, you know, shop it, whoever it's sent to. It would be recognized as something that could be done without a rewrite and a bunch of effort put into it. God, look, I messed up. So that's why I say, before you start any project, as far as entertainment, you need to get really familiar with symbols and stuff like that, because everyone uses it in the entertainment business, and without it, it seems amateur-like, and it doesn't seem professional, and it doesn't fit. Okay. A lot of directors of movies, they understand this, and sometimes people say, oh, they sold out, look, they put this symbol in there. No, they're just doing that to give it deeper meaning to people with spiritual knowledge as well, because like we said, if we go to a movie, if there's no dimension to it spiritually or alchemically, we don't think it's a good movie. Okay. And the masses will. They'll be like, oh, that's, even in the giant blockbusters, there's alchemy, guys, and symbolism and occultism and magic. So y'all have to remember that. It's a good thing, not a bad thing. If you have any good examples of Disney occult, I know a lot of it's in the old Disney movies, like Snow White. You'll see a lot of it. Let me know in the comments, and I will see you guys next Conspiracy Monday. Let me know if you think it's a conspiracy against children or religion, or if it's just there to help you. Let me know. All right, I'll see you guys later.